first of all, Hillary, I want to thank you for sending that information over to the county in reference to the health director and reference to our seniors in the city and who may not be able to get to places where they're able to get these shots, and that they that the shots be made available in their congregate living facilities or somewhere close by where they can get it. So I really wanted to thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
I'll wait for Bruce. Bruce is trying to connect in.
I'm just trying to find all the little buttons and things that I have to push. Oh, it would help if I opened up my laptop. You could actually.
There you are.
Hey.
Hey.
Long time
Well,
no
I
see,
have a
man.
cold. I don't have COVID. Okay?
Oh, okay. Good. Well, even if you do in your quarantine, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm in my basement.
And so a couple of things, updates. The commission has been able to get a pool table for the Morris Blum facility by way
Nice.
of the Department of Aging and Disabilities from one of their old facilities that had a pool table that was in storage. So right now, the Department, Housing Authority and the Department of Aging are working out the gift giving from the county to that facility. And Department of Aging is going to make sure that it gets delivered. So, that's fantastic. We're still servicing some of the residents at Wiley Bates and a couple of other facilities who call and need rides to grocery store or pharmacy or anything like that. So, we have been offering that service. Wiley Bates had a case a couple of weeks ago, and so most of the residents were in quasi quarantine. So, but checking in with them, finding out that they have been doing very good. So that's a large part of old business in regards to how we've been reaching out to the residents and under these extremes. So one of the things that is open for today, and a couple of things, I sent out to everyone a draft annual report that would be sent to Regina Etheridge, the secretary for the city. And hopefully everyone did receive it. And if there were any questions or concerns with that, feel free to acknowledge that right now.
I'm fine with it.
We made the addition for Mary. Deborah, you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Cool. All right. So, Hillary, is there anything else that I need to do, or you can just send that straight through?
Nope, just forward me the edited version and I will send it on to Regina. You can sign the original copy and send that to her, but I'll take the electronic copy to put on.
Not a problem. Fantastic.
Thank
Will
you.
do. New business. Well, as you all are aware, since the beginning of the commission, Bruce has been the co-chair and I've been the chair. And so even though we got 4 members right now, we're open for elections. I'm stepping down as chair, and I'm staying on the commission, but I'm just stepping down as the chair. So between the 4 of us, is there anyone that would like to step into that particular seat?
So I'm actually going to pass because I am neck deep, knee deep just doesn't cover it in vaccine response with my emergency response organization. And for me to take another lead, I'm just not going to be able to do the job that I need to do.
Got it.
I really don't want to do it, Wayne. I'm
Good.
sorry.
Yeah, John, I would be happy to help out, but I think it makes more sense if you would stay as a chair for a period of time, and I could be your deputy so I could learn the shots because I don't know enough to do it right now.
Got it. I just took a deep breath.
You did. I saw that sigh.
I am
We can,
like Bruce. I am very inundated. I mean, it took pulling teeth from Hillary for me to get this annual report done, and so. Mary, I'm going to acknowledge and accept your request, and I'll stay on as chair until things get smooth and we're back to the new form of
The world.
the new form, whatever it's going to come out to be, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we'll keep moving on.
I just want to add, I am more than happy to help and help you also, Mary. I just don't want anything official as far as a leadership position goes. That's all.
great.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you can,
and I'm going to do everything I can to help. It's just my schedule is not my own. I'm being told what my schedule is.
Well, Bruce, we're glad to have you back because I know that we
Right.
missed you unquestionably, but I know that you've been busy, and you are you're an extraordinary guy, and
Thank
you're
you.
really working to make things happen in and around the city. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see you in any of the parades this year because we didn't have any parades. So
Well, to give you guys an idea, my little nonprofit has done 6,400 hours of volunteer efforts since March for the city and the county.
wow.
So, like I said, a little bit busy. And I'll just tell you a funny anecdote. Yesterday and the day before, I was at Maryland Live helping with vaccination response. And I was helping those 75 plus and older. And several times I was called Sonny. So I just, what can I tell you?
Take it. Take it.
I took it.
yeah, that's funny because I respond to everyone as young men and
Mhm.
young ladies, and that's everybody. And for the most time, the majority of the people who are seniors, man, you are the greatest guy I know. You really made my day. I mean, so I know that made your day, man.
It did.
Is there anything else? Anything that is on anyone's
I got a
mind?
whole report. I got a whole report for you folks. So why don't you let Mary and Deb go first, and then I'll be happy to talk.
Fantastic. All
I
right.
have zero to report. I have not been involved in anything since our last non-meeting. I do want to make sure that Bruce, as well as Wayne, we've been in touch occasionally. I am happy to do anything, preferably not involving close contact, but happy to do anything. Phone calls, volunteer work. I say that I'm in a high-risk group for dying of boredom. So,
Yeah, and I don't share that one, but yeah, go ahead.
okay. Well, anything I can do, Bruce,
Okay.
I'm happy to.
Certainly.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything, Mary?
Well, how about something fun instead
Okay.
of all these problems that we have? And there's going to be a launch out of Wallops in case any of you want to get out and look over the bay. If you look towards the southeast on, let me see, February the 20th at 12:36. And if you're interested in more information, I can send you the NASA. I'll forward the email. I can forward it to you, and that way you can get updates, because you know launches have the nasty habit of slipping and sliding. So
Yeah, particularly in February. My God,
yeah,
it's a
well,
strange time.
it's a space station resupply launch.
I know. I'm just thinking weather. Weather is so unpredictable in that time frame.
Absolutely. I'd have to agree. Most of our worst snowstorms have occurred
Mhm.
in February, and so. All
I'll-
right.
I'll send you the email if you can give it to everybody. So I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, Bruce, you're up, young man.
Okay, so thank you. This is so neck deep in a lot of stuff, and much of it affects seniors. Hillary knows most of this, but I want to share with everybody. So first of all, with regard to food, Pastor Cheryl Menendez with Light of the World Family Ministries is working with Annapolis OEM and Annapolis Police. And they're doing weekly free food distributions on Tuesdays at Pip Moyer. One of the things I wanted to mention, an observation, because I get to see pretty much everybody who arrives, because I do traffic, is that I'm seeing a much smaller percentage of older African Americans coming to this food distribution. I saw a much higher percentage on Clay Street when it was done at People's Park. And I understand they can't do People's Park right now. It's too cold. So the people actually distributing the food are working out of the basketball court area of Pip Moyer, which gives a little bit of respite and warmth. Not for me, by the way, I get to stand out in traffic, but for everybody else. So, but that's a concern. And I just wonder if it might be a transportation issue for many of our older African-American citizens. I see plenty of Hispanics, but they tend to be younger. Also, I don't see older Hispanics. I see younger Hispanics. But in terms of African Americans, I'm sure there's still an issue. There's still a food insecurity problem. So I don't know precisely what we can do to solve it, but I just wanted to mention that as a concern. Second thing is there's another food drive that's at the County Department of Aging. They are still doing Fresh Food Fridays. Try not to say that too fast. And it alternates between the Heritage Complex right outside of Annapolis and Pascal Senior Center. In fact, this week it's Pascal. And that's free food. Now that's not just for seniors, but seniors can certainly take advantage of it. And finally, if you are facing issues, particularly if you're homebound, for whatever reasons, whether it's age or COVID concerns or whatever, and you need food, you can call the Office of Emergency Management in the city and get on a list, and they are arranging for food deliveries. So there's multiple avenues for food. Food, obviously essential is to make sure that people are getting enough to eat and that they're getting quality food to eat. So there's at least those three avenues. And then I understand there are pop-up pantries, but that's what they are. They're pop-up, so they just kind of occur periodically. So part of it is making sure, and Hillary, maybe this is a city thing, but making sure that Annapolis city residents, and particularly those who are seniors, and particularly those who we suspect might be in need, are aware of all these opportunities. So we make sure that that part of healthy is very important, not just worrying about the virus and vaccines. So that
Well, I
was
do
kind of
know
what-
that the city council members, especially Fred Pignon, he gets that information out in regards to locations and places where food is being distributed. And I know the city has done city's done a pretty nice job in reminding and sending out emails in regards to the collaboration with Cheryl Menendez and the Pit Moyer distribution. It's unfortunate that because of lack of transportation, and that individuals are not able to get over to Pip Moyer Center.
Yeah.
And a lot of right there at People's Park, they're right in that proximity. You have two senior residents that folk were able to walk up and get food and walk back home. So it's trying times, and one, and then number two, the mere fact that people don't want to have too many people in their cars. I have people ask me all the time, well, Wayne, aren't you concerned about having someone, I'd say, well, I wear a mask, they wear a mask. I have the window cracked, try to go through those precautions,
Well, we knew that winter was going to be a challenge. I mean, we've been talking about winter since, probably September, October, and wondering what we were going to do, because obviously we all knew this was going to continue to be an issue. And this was the best that we could come up with in the city, was to come up with something that was partial indoor, partial outdoor. But anything we can do to get the word out. You mentioned about Fred. We need to see that the other older people, whatever we're calling them, get the word out also. I don't hear. There's nothing against Brooks, but I don't get anything from Brooks. I realize I don't need, but you would think if there was a broadcast message that I would see it at least.
Yeah.
What about the digital signs? I drive by the one on Spa Road 4 times a day. There's also one off Westgate Circle. As far as I can tell, they only broadcast the number of the county health organization and they do it in Spanish and English. Please, and also please wash your hands, wear a mask. What about advertising something on one of those?
Hillary, is that a possibility to communicate that?
It is possible. I can request it. I know a lot of these, I'd want to check with Cheryl first to make sure that she's got the capacity for expansion. I know a lot of these food drives, we run out of food. I haven't worked one of Cheryl's in a while, so I'm not sure what her status is, but I'll check.
She's not. It's been light, Hillary.
Has it? Okay, good.
Yeah. Now understand something. The amount of food that she gets is not the same every week. It varies depending on what is available from Maryland Food Bank, Anne Arundel County Food Bank, and other sources. But the last 2 weeks, I thought that it was fairly light. When I get to go home early, that means it's fairly light.
I agree with you. I think the changes, we've been moving it for a while. It was going back and forth between Pip Moyer and Whitmore or People's Park, but now it's staying at Pip Moyer, I think, for the rest of the winter. But like this week, it got canceled because of the snow. So it is challenging when it's not as consistent. I think then the numbers do drop off. And also Food Friday has increased dramatically. We have more people on the delivery, so that some of the folks that were coming to the Tuesday one may be getting delivery instead now.
Okay.
So hopefully that's what it is.
Also, I know I was just reminded that Shanika and Delegate Henson, Senator Elford, and Delegate Jones also. They are communicating in regards to these food distributions. And so that is, I know the word gets out from that standpoint as well. Okay. So that's one of those things where, as the time goes on, you know, we can continue to work to make sure that we're getting that information out and in every and each way that we can. So, Bruce, I appreciate that update. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Well, no, I got more stuff.
Okay, keep rolling.
So, but I'm very concerned because the city attorney just joined us. I'm wondering if I did something wrong.
So, sorry, I'm late. I got this invite to attend this meeting, but I was in with the mayor. I'm glad to be with everybody, to meet you for the first time if I haven't met you before. Happy to be here. Did you need me for something, Hillary? I'm kind of short-staffed today.
Nope. I just put you on there as the supporting attorney. So.
Okay, yes, I am supporting you. Whatever you need, you can always rely on me for legal advice. But I'm gonna head back up to another meeting with the mayor real quick. But I'm always at your disposal and your service, okay?
Very good.
Sir, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all. All right.
All right, so moving on to vaccines. So I'm sure everybody's aware that vaccines are now available for those who are 75 and older. The things that are they're available from public health. They're available at AACC and Maryland Live. Obviously, AACC is closer. It is a different vaccine, at least right now. At each one, it's Pfizer at AACC, it's Moderna at Maryland Live. But it can be challenging to sign up and to get an appointment. I'm also a call taker at the Emergency Operations Center for the county, and I am literally, inundated with phone calls of seniors who are telling me that, well, they did this and this didn't work, and they don't have a computer and they can't do this and they need their vaccine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what's important for seniors is that they can call the main county number, 410-222. All the numbers I'm going to give out start with 410-222. They can call 7256 or they can call 3663, and they can get their name on a list to be called back by a real live person who will walk them through the process. Either sign them up, get them an appointment, or answer their questions, or any of the above. It can be a health department person. It can be one of my people, but we do have a backlog, by the way, of about 1,600 calls, which we're trying to work off this weekend. But because guess what? There's like 40,000 people in Anne Arundel County who are 75 and older. 40,000.
Wow.
That just shocked me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's really important. My concern is I don't want someone not to get a vaccine because they were challenged by the system. The software that's being used is federally mandated software by the CDC, and I'd like to shoot the guy who put together. It can be challenging, and the rules are very confusing between state and county, which is adding to the difficulty. And then sometimes things just don't work. So we want seniors to get vaccines. Once they actually get an appointment and get to the site, it is so smooth that all I hear is thank yous. I haven't heard a single complaint from anyone who actually got a vaccine. The only complaints I hear are getting the appointment, getting registered, getting the appointment, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of critical. Another thing that you may not know about is that
Bruce.
county transportation to these vaccination sites is available. It's available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they need to call 0023. So that's typically a county van. The county van will take them to the vaccination site, and I don't think they wait, but they probably will come back, schedule a comeback. The seniors do not have to wait very long. This is a smooth process. Typically, you're talking about maybe, because of the appointments, maybe about 15 minutes from the time they schedule their appointment to actually get the shot. And then, of course, you have to wait 15 minutes or 30 minutes if you have the potential for severe allergic reactions. But, everybody does fine. They come out smiling. I didn't see any tears. I saw stickers. I asked them about lollipops. No, they didn't give out lollipops. It's a shame. But anyway, but the seniors were very pleased with how everything worked. But again, the challenge is actually getting that appointment in the first place. And there's not enough vaccine. So, you know, they can try to get an appointment, but there's not enough vaccine, so there's no appointments available. So that's another frustrating aspect of what's going on. But we have to get this herd immunity. We have to get seniors vaccinated. Okay.
Question.
Okay.
There's a registration
Yes.
for
There's
for
a
us youngsters.
pre-registration. It's a
I'm sorry?
pre-registration.
Yeah, pre-registration for us youngsters, in which
Yeah.
they would give us a call when our number is up, when our opportunity is up.
Numbers up.
Um,
I love your choice of words, Wayne.
you know, is it felt that that's going to work well? That's going to work good as far as someone calling.
Nobody's
Or
going to call. No. If you do the pre-registration, you're going to get a link, an email with a link, because you have to supply your email address.
Right.
And now, if you don't have an email address, that's yet another challenge. But you have to supply your email address, and then what you do is when it's open, when there's enough vaccine, you'll get an email with a link, and you go to the link, and the link then gets you to a site where you can see appointments and actually apply for appointments.
Got it.
That's true right now with the 75 plus, except that supposedly when you pre-register for 75 plus, you immediately or very close to immediately get that link.
Cool.
I think they send out as many links per week as a little over how many appointments are available, but they're not sending out the link to all the pre-registered 75s because
that's correct. And it's challenging because there are people who are sharing the email with other people
don't do
who are
that.
not eligible. There's another challenge too, is that based on, I don't know if it's state law or policy or whatever, you don't have to be in this county to get a vaccine in this county. You're allowed to do it anywhere in the state of Maryland. So we are getting people from outside of the county making appointments for inside, and they can't be refused. And so that puts a burden on the limited amount of vaccine as well.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly would agree that with the I don't want to use the word shortage, just the limited availability to allow someone from out of state to roll in. I mean, I wonder if that's the same way in the District of Columbia.
No, not out of state, out of county.
Out of county, yeah.
Got it.
Out
Okay.
of county.
There is an allowance, I believe, for if you work in one state and live in another, you can apply as a resident or somebody who works in the state.
Yeah. By the way, another critical element, at least this is a strong desire by Department of Health, is wherever you get the first, you get the second.
Mhm.
You absolutely want to get exactly the same vaccine, but from a logistical standpoint, it is really, really important to get it from the same location.
And they're doing an excellent job on that. From what I have friends who were vaccinated under the healthcare rules in the first group, and they were, once their second dose was available, they were automatically received an invitation. And then my mother-in-law had her vaccine last week, and they actually registered her at that time for her follow-up for her second shot. So they're doing an excellent job on that.
Yeah. The logistics from the health department are really, really great.
They do a great job.
I'm happy to report I get my second shot tomorrow because I'm an emergency responder. I was in 1A. Excuse me. And here I am with a cold. But anyway, I got one last thing on my report, and that has to do with Medicare. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that Medicare counseling continues through COVID. It's being done either via Zoom for those who can manage Zoom, or by a phone call, just a phone call to SHIP. That's really important. It's not high on everybody's priority when they're worried about where they're going to live and what kind of food they're going to have and stuff like that. But the fact is, if they don't pay attention to Medicare can end up being, they can either miss benefits or it can become very costly. And so it's important for seniors to keep it somewhat in the forefront and get help if they need it. I've talked to quite a number of seniors where, they're worried about they don't have any money and they're worried about expenses. And sometimes what we're able to do is reduce their medical expenses through better insurance. And that gives them more money to handle those things that they can't handle. So it's kind of important. Like we've seen a tremendous drop off in the number of people, particularly low income people, who are requesting support through the Department of Aging SHIP. Okay, so just another thing that we want to help support with. And that kind of information, Hillary, by the way, I know the city has a helpline. Making sure all that information gets to the helpline so that because it's kind of like a warm line to just ask those questions, are you covered here? Are you covered there? To make sure particularly people who have limited means know all the possible things that are available to them. Okay. So I think that was enough.
No, that was very rewarding, especially the information in reference to vaccine distribution, and that's very important because I know the seniors that I've come in contact with at Bates, I've asked them, have they received any information, and most of the time, the answer I've gotten back is no.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here wondering if one, in regards to Bates, putting together a flyer, maybe Deborah, you can contact them over there and find out if we put together a flyer, if they can get it distributed on the property. That would be great. And then maybe I can reach out to folks over at the public housing in regards to Morris Blum, and then contact the people over at the housing and second on West Washington.
Timothy.
So
owns
what
that
I can do is
Formerly
help with
Timothy House.
sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
former
that-
Timothy House, yeah.
So what I mean, obviously I'll help with the content and to get it proofed, to make sure that whatever we're putting out is consistent with the message that the Department of Health wants to put out.
Mhm.
I've got all the contacts there to make
And
So
sure.
could you
We
put
have-
it together and then forward? Could you put something together maybe, or find out if they have something already prepared? To get,
Yeah, we
I'm
already.
sorry.
Oh, I was just going to interject that we have a page on the website that we could easily make into a flyer, and it's
Oh, that
already
would be
been
helpful.
approved by the Anne Arundel County Department of Health.
Okay.
So I
Great.
can put that out to you guys.
So
And
if you could just make sure, I'm sorry.
Counseling and Department of Aging only, or are we including the food distribution?
Oh, I would
No,
do
I
the
was just talking
vaccines.
about vaccines. Yeah.
I would just do the vaccine. And the reason I would only do the vaccines is it tends to be information overload.
The one caveat I would put, and we should be putting it out obviously for people to get signed up as soon as possible in, through the Anne Arundel County vaccine program. But we also are working with the county to try to get some of these properties that we've just been discussing included in the on-site vaccination program. So as we, the CVS and Walgreens, we're doing nursing homes. That is complete. They are now doing assisted living, and will hopefully be moving into other congregant living facilities. So hopefully we'll have some on-site vaccination at places like Morris Blum or Glenwood and Timothy House / what's the new name? I forget what they're called now. Anyway, so our other congregant but independent living facilities. Mary and I spoke before the rest of you were on today, and they are scheduled now at her independent living facility, for instance.
Okay, good.
So hopefully we'll see more of that. And also, I think just to sort of emphasize what Bruce was saying, is that anybody who needs help figuring out when and where to get their vaccine should call the county. That The Department of Aging is answering questions. The Health Department is answering questions. So
Yeah.
they're ready to help people figure out what the best way to get them in is. And the webpage that we have at the city will, and that we work with the county on, will keep updating as the next groups get in, because right now we are 1B, but we are just doing the seniors over 75 in 1B. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's constantly changing information.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
I'll be at the call center tomorrow, and I need to be pre-briefed before I start answering calls.
Yes.
Something has changed since the last time I was there.
Yeah, and they really, the health department has done such a great job at figuring out ways to serve everyone. So if there's somebody who's like, this doesn't work, like somebody who is homebound, or, you know, they should still call. If they can't figure out how to use the system that's in place, or they don't know where they fit in, they should definitely call, because they're finding ways to serve people.
Well, I will say that I'm getting a consistent number of information bulletins from the county executive. And I think just this morning there was one that was out in Spanish. So that it's refreshing to know that there's a source of information that's continually being sent out. But once again, if you don't have an email that is registered, so it's a lack of getting it into these particular.
Yeah, but so that's why these folks need to call, and appointments will be made for them. But you know, there's also recommendations from the Department of Health. If you don't have, do you have a relative that has one, or a close friend, or something like that? People have to be open and ask for help of friends and family to get through this.
I will add in another caution on that, though. If you're helping friends or family, or talking to friends or family about registration, one of the cautions we heard from the health department was that if you are registering somebody else, you should use a different email address from registering yourself, because there were people getting thrown out because they were like, I'm registering myself, I'm in this group down the road, but then I'm going to register my mom, but I want to get the email for it so that I can help her. Well, it was the same email address, so one got thrown out. So that is
so true, Hillary.
Is a big caution that we should be reminding people.
So another thing is, if you have a husband and wife or partners or whatever in one home, and you register and you use the same email address, there's only one email that comes back. Okay, because it's exactly what you said. It's dependent on that email address. I'm really glad, you know, I hadn't thought about that, and I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah, they taught, and they may have come up with a solution since the last time I spoke with them. That was probably 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. So yeah, so that's one of the cautions that we need to share with people. And we have all this on that webpage, and I'll send you guys the link for that.
And do you have the transportation part on the webpage?
I don't know. I'll check. And you know, honestly, as I'm saying this, I'm not even sure it's a public web page yet. I don't know if they've published it yet, but I think they have.
All right, but I believe the transportation part is something new, Hillary.
Yes.
Because I only heard about a week ago.
Okay.
And I, by the way, I verified all this information before this call. I talked to transportation, I talked to aging, you know, so I made sure, because everything changes every day. So what I mentioned to you today is current. Well, until it changes.
Okay. I don't think we have any public, anyone else that has locked in, and because I know Hillary does an extremely great job in scheduling this meeting and allowing the public to join in at any point in period of time. You know, we're not one of those commissions on boards that everybody wants to log into and come, you know. You know, they probably think that we're a bunch of little old people that just sit around and just chew the fat for about an hour and then but I really appreciate all of your support. And, I've reached out to Judith Branham and Mary Harris several times and haven't gotten a response back. So I really don't know how they're doing or what's going on in their lives right now, but pray that everything is well with them. So, that being it, Hillary, I may be calling you this afternoon just to fine tune this and get it over to you.
Excellent.
That being it, I think that is it, unless anyone has anything else.
I would just say, if you know anyone who wants to serve on the board, please encourage them to send me their resume, because we should get this board filled up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just thought of one more thing to mention. That those phone numbers, 7256 and 3663, they are staffed by Spanish speakers as well.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
I have a question, Hillary.
Yes.
How many people do you feel a board needs to be full?
Let me check this
Oh, we're
board.
9. I think we're 9.
We got to have a quorum, so and right now we're just so even. It's either 7 or 9, isn't it?
I
Hillary?
remember 9.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I think 9 too. Maximum.
We've never been full.
Yeah, I have 3 vacancies plus the 2 that we just discussed, the ladies who,
Right.
and maybe they just don't want to be on Zoom meetings. Not everybody wants to. So I would say there's 3 genuine vacancies right now, and then we'll wait and see on the 2 members who haven't joined us since we moved to Zoom.
Got it.
Okay. I'll work on that.
Excellent.
That
Thank
would
you
be
very
great.
much.
Absolutely. Because I think Bruce and Deborah have been trying and working diligently. 3 years, 4 years now? It's been,
Absolutely.
time is just flying. Gavin is up for re-election, so I know that's 4. And last year of so it's almost 5 years that the commission we've been working, and wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's beginning to show. Bruce, you're looking younger, man. I tell you, I saw you.
I swear I got more. I got more forehead than I had before. Yeah, this is Dad. Dad didn't turn gray for quite some time. So, but if I have any more forehead, it's going to be behind my head. So.
Uh-oh.
All right. So as of right now, it is 12:44, and this meeting is